2 weeks ago, we started Act 1 Whiskey for the Demons from this Dead Man's Hand Redux rulebook. And today we're back for Scene 2 of that first act, Whiskey for the Demons. So, Scene 2, Dusty Throats and Broken Bones. Let's head down to the gaming table and let's have a go at Scene 2. Okay, so here we have the setup, very similar, in fact almost identical to Scene 1. We do have a slight change in characters. So first of all, we have no Pete Hutter, who's the leader of the bad guys, and we've got no Briscoe County Jr. today, who was leader of the Goonies. So what we've got is we've got Lord Bowler just over here, we've got Professor Whitwire over here, and we have just in here we've got one other chap, and his name escapes me, but I'm sure I will come up with it as we go through the game. Over on the left-hand side, we have the Swill brothers, the eldest who was in the game 2 weeks ago, and then his younger brothers have arrived today. They've drawn Bowler, the Professor, and Whip Morgan, that's it, out, who they were in various different places. The bar probably was where Bowler was with Whip, and I'm sure the Professor was picking up some stores from a shop, but they've been drawn out into the street and a gunfight has ensued. Now, for this scenario today, we are going to be having 3 action cards, although because the Goonies won, the Lawmen won last game, they will have an additional action card in their hand, so they'll have 4. And essentially we're going to go until one side has only 1 character remaining, or one side fails a big nerve test. So should be a good one, and let's crack on with dealing the deck out for initiative, and then we'll crack on into turn 1. Okay, so on to turn 1, we've dealt out the cards. It's not looking great for the Lawmen. It's definitely going to be the Outlaws that have the advantage this turn. So, start of the turn, we have the middle Swill brother here. He's got Queen, so he's going to start first. And he is going to take 2 aim shots and then fire because he's got a rifle. It's in close range, and he is aiming at Whip Morgan, who is over behind this building just here. So what we're going to need is a D20. In fact, sorry, shoot result. Yeah, we need modifiers first. So let's have a look at the modifiers. So shooter, not moving, not under fire, and aim shots. He's got +2. So that's fine. Target is not moving, behind substantial cover, not really, not obscured, not a horse, so it's +2 to the shot, and that is that. So D20, and here we go. And they've rolled an 8, +2 is 10, and that is a miss. So the first shot from the Swill brother has missed, and I'm going to end up needing a dice tray here. So that is the first action for the Swill brother, and we'll be right back with the next Swill brother. Okay, so next up we have the eldest Swill brother here with the number 10. He is going to move down the boardwalk, and I've calculated here, sort of doing a bit of pre-measuring as it were, that it's going to take him 2 moves to get down there. So he's going to get a 2-move token, and then he's going to have a shot at Bowler. Now Bowler over there is just short of 30 centimeters away, which means it's going to be a long shot with the pistol. So to go through this, he has taken, the shooter has taken 2 move actions, so that's -2. not under fire, not having a name shot, and that's it for the modifier. So it's a -2 already to the dice roll. The target is, I'm going to say, he's either behind substantial cover, being the corner of the building, or he is slightly obscured. It doesn't matter which way, either one is a -1. So it's a -3 to the dice roll. So let's have a look and see what happens. So this time I'm going to try not to take out the scenery. Done a better job there. It's a 9, -3 is 6, and that is a miss. So that is the eldest Swill brother done. Next up is going to be Bowler, and we'll be right back for that action. Okay, so it's Lord Bowler's turn, and for this, for Bowler's actions, I'm going to be playing this card here, which is Dead Eye Shot. Basically, I'm going to play it when I declare the actions for the turn, and any shots for this turn ignore all of the to hit penalties for target moving and for target in substantial cover. So we'll do a move action for Bowler. He's then going to take an aimed shot at the eldest Swill brother. So let's find out what the modifiers look like for that. Remember, there will be no penalties for the target moving or for the target in substantial cover. So Bowler, sorry, shouldn't lean across the camera like that, bad cameramanship, but he has moved. So he's got a -1 for that. He's not under fire, but it is an aim shot, so that's +1, so that cancels it out. And then we move on to the target modifiers. Again, they're not going to get anything for moving or being substantial cover. So it's an even dice roll on the D20. So here we go. And it's a 15. And that is going to, in fact, sorry, let me just check. Close, no, that's fine. So 15 is an under fire marker and a nerve test. So I'm going to put that marker on him now, and we'll come back and do that nerve test in just a second. Okay, so on to the nerve test for the eldest Swill brother. Now, we're going to be rolling a D10. His nerve value is 4+, so we need 4 or better on the dice roll. He does have an under fire marker, which would be a -1 to the dice roll, but he has a friendly character within 15 centimetres. Right next to him, his brother, so that cancels that out because that would give you a +1. So ultimately, I'm looking for 4 or better to save the test. So here we go. And he's rolled a 7, which is absolutely fine. So he's passed that nerve test. So let's move on, and I believe it is either the last Swill brother or the professor. So let's find out who next. Okay, so next up we have Professor Whitwire. He's going to move down the boardwalk behind the sort of carriage, and he's lined himself up basically to have a shot at the Swill brother with the rifle. He's over 20 centimetres, so it's going to be more of a long range shot, but he is going to, now he's moved, he's going to aim and fire at the Swill brother. So let's have a look at the dice for that. We have a long range shot, so it's a -1 to hit, so he's on -1 straight away. He has he's not taken 2 moves, he's not under fire, it's an aim shot, so that's +1, so he's level. The target is not moving. He isn't behind cover from the angle, so I'm not going to give him anything for that. So it looks like it's an absolute straight dice roll. So here we go for the professor. He's rolled a 9, which is, I believe, a miss. Yep, it's a miss. So nothing for the professor. And we'll move on to the final Swill brother before Whit Morgan finishes the turn out. Okay, so it's time for the last Swill brother to activate, and he is going to do 2 movement actions, being very bold. He's going to make his way over to behind the stagecoach, just behind the professor here, and now he's going to take a shot. So it's absolutely at point blank range. So he's got a +2 to the dice straight away. So +2 to hit. Next is the shooter himself, taking 2 move actions. Well, he has done that, so it's a -1. So he's down to +1. He's not under fire. He's not aim shot. So that's that. The target has moved. So -1. So it's now level, but he's not behind cover. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So it is an even roll, and let's see what happens. He's rolled a 9, which is a miss. So I don't know how the professor's got away with that, but the Swill brother must have been out of breath by the time he got there. So let's move on to Whip Morgan, and we'll finish the turn up with his actions. Okay, so on to Whip Morgan's turn, and he is going to be bold. He is going to move to the building and climb up onto the roof with 1 turn, 1 movement, and then he's going to move to the edge with a 2nd movement. So he's got 2 moves already, and he's now going to shoot down at point blank range on the last of the Swill brothers. So on that basis, let's see what the shooting is. It is point blank, so it's +2. However, he has moved twice, so that's a -1. So that is +1. It's not an aim shot. Right, target, he has moved twice, so down to a -1, no substantial cover. So it's -1 to the dice. Let's see what happens. And it's a 9, -1 is 8, so that's a miss as well. Lots of fighting, lots of shooting going on, but no casualties yet, except for the oldest Swill brother, who has taken an under fire marker. So I'm going to reset the counters, ready for turn 2, and we'll be right back. Okay, so start of turn 2, and Professor Whitwire has got the queen and has the first turn, which is good for him. So what he's going to do, obviously with the Swill brother behind him, he is going to take an aimed shot, and then he's going to retreat around the corner of the building. So let's take in all those things into consideration. We have a +2 for close, so for point blank. The shooter has not moved, is not under fire, but is aiming, so that's another +1, so that's +3 altogether. The target is not moving, is not behind substantial cover, so it's +3 to the dice. So let's see how we get on. Oh, is that cocked? Let's re-roll that. It's a 4. Probably should have taken the first one. Anyway, +3 is 7. That is pretty shocking, because that is a miss, and the professor is now going to retreat around the corner into cover. So with that being said, we're now going to go to the next player, which is either Bowler or Whip Morgan. Okay, up next we have Whip Morgan, who had the 7, and he is going to aim at the Swill brother below, take a shot, and then take a 2nd shot. So we'll go through that now. So first of all, he's at point blank range, so it's a +2. He hasn't moved, he's not under fire, he is aiming, so that's +3. The target is not moved and is not behind cover, so +3 to the dice, and we've got a 7. +3 is 10, which is also a miss. So on to the next shot. So we have, it's still point blank. He hasn't moved, it's no aim. Is a 2nd shot, so -1 for that. So down to +1. So it's +1 to the dice this time. And we've got an 11. One more is 12, and that's an under fire marker. So I'll put that on, and then we'll go on to Bowler's turn. Okay, so on to Lord Bowler's turn. He's going to take a shot with his pistol, and it's at close range. So for this one, the shooter hasn't moved. He's not under fire, but it is he's going to aim, fire, and then fire. So that's +1 for the aimed shot. And then the target is behind substantial cover. I think that is it. I don't think the under fire token does anything for when you're being shot at. So I think that's an evens shot. So let's roll the dice, see what happens. And it's a 13. So 13, another under fire token. So I'll put that on in just a moment. Let's go back and do the second shot. It's not going to be aimed. It is a second shot, so it's -1 already to the dice. And he's behind substantial cover, so that's -2 on the dice. Here we go. It's an 18, -2 is 16, but it's still another under fire token, and it's also a nerve test. So I'll put those under fire tokens on, and then we'll come back and do the nerve test. Okay, so moving on to the nerve test, and he needs a 4+ on a D10 to pass. However, he's got -3 on the dice for the under fire markers, but he does gain a +1 for friendly character within 15 centimeters, so it's only -2. So let's roll the dice and see what he gets. Oh, he's rolled strong, so it's a 9 on the dice. -2 is 7. He is absolutely fine. However, he is very close to not or having too many shots. If he has one more under fire token on him, he'll be out. So anyway, let's move on to the Outlaws. We've got 2 of the Swill brothers before we get to this guy. So let's find out how that goes. Okay, so it's the turn of the, I think the youngest Swill brother, who's right at the back behind the stagecoach. But before that player is activated, the lawmen are going to play a Hang 'em High card, which basically means that none of the characters can do any recover actions this turn. So they can't get rid of any of the under fire tokens this turn. So the Swill brother, first thing he's going to do is move in front of the stagecoach and get away from Whip Morgan as best he can. So we'll put that under fire token on him and a movement token. And then he's going to take an aim shot at Bowler. So it's at long range. So that's a -1 straight away. He's got an under fire token, so it's a -1. He is aiming though, so +1, so down to -1. And the target is behind substantial cover, so back to -2. So let's roll the dice, see what happens. And it's a 16. So 16 -2 is 14, and Bowler's going to take an under fire token. Okay, so up next we have the middle Swill brother who's got the rifle. He's going to take a double aim at the Professor. And then take the shot. I think I played this wrong in the first turn, but essentially that's going to give him a +3 for the aim. So let's go through this. He's got +3. He's not moved. He's not under fire. And the target has moved this turn once. So that's a -1. So it's down to +2. But he's pretty open. Good line of sight straight at him. So it's a +2 to the dice roll. Let's see what happens. And it's a 17 +2 is 19. And that is Professor Whitwire out of action. So we'll take him out of the game. I will just double check if that means I need to do any sort of test. And I'll check that off camera. And then we'll come back for the last Swill brothers action within this turn 2. Okay, so no nerve tests for the Professor going down. However, that is a third of the force gone, so one more and it will be a big nerve test for the lawman. So next up with the last Swill brother, he's going to take a shot at Bowler, then he's going to aim for the second shot and do so. So the first one, he's at, I believe we said close range for Bowler, so it's close range for the Swill brother. So it's no modifier there. He hasn't taken any move actions, but he is -3 for the under fire tokens. So we're down to -3. And then Bowler is behind substantial cover, so -4. So -4 on the dice. Let's see how we get on. 3 minus 4, yeah, no, that's missed. So let's go for the second shot. Again, no distance modifier, but he is under fire, so it's minus 3. It's an aim shot, so it's plus 1. So that will take down to minus 2, but it's his second shot, so again it's minus 1. So back to minus 3, and bowler behind substantial cover is another minus 1. So minus 4 on the dice. So here we go. 8 down to 4 is a miss. So that concludes this turn. I'm going to reset the counters, draw for initiative, and we'll come back with turn 3. Okay, on to turn 3, and it's the middle Twill brother with the rifle that's got the initiative first. He is going to take 2 aims at Whip Morgan up on the roof there and take a shot. So it's plus 3. It's got no under fire, so target is behind substantial cover, so that plus 3 is now down to a plus 2. So let's see what happens on the dice. No, that was a bad roll. Let me roll that again. I dropped that. It's a 2. It's even worse. So 2 plus, what did I say? That was 3. So a 2 is 4. Still not a particularly good dice roll there. So he's missed this turn. So let's move on to Whip. And I should say they both got jacks, but a little initiative roll meant that Twill brother went first. So over to Whip Morgan next. Okay, so over to Whip Morgan, and he is going to return fire on the chap with the Twill brother with the rifle. So first up, he's going to aim, and then he's going to shoot, and then he's going to shoot again. So it is long range, so it's a minus 1. Whip is not under fire, and he has aim, so plus 1, so equals. Target is actually line of sight, pretty much in the open there. So I think it's going to be an equals roll for the first roll. So let's see what happens. It's a 15, and that is an under fire marker, and it's also a nerve test. So I'm going to put that, in fact, we should probably roll for that first. So I'm going to work out what that is, and we'll come back with the roll. Okay, so we're back for the nerve test. His nerve rating is 4+, so I need 4 up on the dice. He has got an under fire marker, so minus 1, but he's got a friend within 15 centimeters, so that equals that out. So 4 up to save. And he's rolled a 3, so he's actually failed the nerve test, which is not good for him. So I'm going to work out what that means. If he fails, take an additional under fire marker. Fine. So we'll put another marker on him, and then we'll come back for Whip's second shot. And we're back for Whip's second shot. So first of all, it's long range, and the only difference is there's no aim shot, but it's his second shot. So there's a minus 1. So overall, minus 2 on the dice. So let's see what happens. And it's 11, minus 2 is 9, which is a miss. So we'll move on, and we'll be going to Lord Bowler next for his turn. And we're back for Lord Bowler's turn. So he is going to aim, shoot, shoot. So first of all, it's a close range, no modifiers for that. No movement actions for Bowler. He is under fire, so it's a minus 1. But he is taking an aim shot, so it's a plus 1. So that is all level there. And then the target is behind substantial cover, minus 1. So it's a minus 1 on the dice roll. And here we go. And it's a 12 down to 11. And that is another under fire marker, which means he's hit his max of 4. And I believe that means he is now out of action. So I'm going to double check that in the book. And then I'll come back with either Bowler's second shot, or in fact it'll probably then move on to the Twill brothers' turn. Okay, so he had reached, the Swill brother had reached the equal to the number of hits he could take, which was 4, which means he's now out of action. So there's 1 apiece, and it's all to play for in the town. Now, final move is the younger Swill brother at the back there by the stagecoach. He is going to, first of all, recover, which takes off an under fire token off of him, and then he's going to take an aim shot at Lord Bowler. So we'll play that through now. He is at long range, which is a -1, and he's got no under fire tokens. It's an aim shot, so it's +1, so that's equaled out, but Bowler is behind substantial cover, so that's a -1 to the dice. And he's rolled a 20, -1 off that is 19, and that is Bowler out of action, which is incredible. So that was a lucky shot. Now, this means it's over 50%, which means a big nerve test is required. And I'm going to read up on that now, and we'll come back and we'll see how this is going to pan out. Okay, so on to the big nerve test. Whip Morgan, that's the one, has a nerve score of 4+, so we need a 4 up to stay in the game. If not, it looks like the Outlaws are winning today's battle. So here we go. And it is a 4. He has literally saved the game. So we're going to, I'm going to reset any piece that needs to be reset, and then we're going to turn on to turn 4. So stay with us. Okay, so on to turn 4. And we have a draw with the initiative. So Whip's got an 8, and the rifled, or the brother with the rifle has also got an 8. We rolled for initiative off camera, and the Swill brother won. So he's up next. He's got 2 under fire tokens on him, but he's decided he's going to do the double aim and try to go for Whip. So it's a +3 for that. He does have 2 under fire markers on him, so that's a -2. So that is down to +1. And Whip is behind substantial cover, so that's at -1. So it's an evens shot. Let's see what the dice say. It's 11. So that is an under fire marker for Whip. So we'll put that on, and then we'll move on to Whip's turn. Okay, so moving on to Whip Morgan's turn. He's going to recover to take the under fire token off, and then he's going to have a shot back at the Swill brother who just fired. So that's at long range, so -1. He is going to do an aim shot, I should have said. So that's +1, so that evens it out. And then the target is pretty much in the open from line of sight. So let's roll the dice. It's evens again, and we'll see what happens. And it's an 18. My goodness. And that is an under fire marker and a nerve test. So, that's absolutely crazy. So I'm going to sort out the tokens, measure how far the Swill brothers are apart, see if they help each other, and we'll come back and do the nerve test. Okay, this game is just crazy. It is swinging backwards and forwards between who's got advantage. So, first of all, he's not within 15 centimeters of his brother. So that means he doesn't get the support of an additional character. His nerve rating is 4+. He's got 3 hits on him. So that is -3 onto the dice. So this is going to see whether he's out of action or not. So here we go. So he's rolled a 7. -3 on 7 is 4. So he's actually okay. He's just held in the game there. It couldn't go backwards and forwards any more than it has already. So he survived. Let's move on to the final Swill brother for this turn. Okay, so up next is the final Swill brother. He's going to recover to remove an under fire token, and then he's actually going to be a bit sneaky, and he's going to do 2 movements to the side of the building, just where Whip Morgan is up top. So that lines us up for turn 5. This is going to be an absolute nail biter, and I can't wait. So join us in just a second for turn 5. Okay, so we're on to turn 5, and the drama just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So Whip Morgan unfortunately pulled a card which is the lowest of the 3, so he is going to go last if he survives that long. First up, we have the youngest Swill brother, who made it to the side of the building and has now decided he's going to climb up onto the roof, and then he's going to take an aimed shot at point blank range at poor Whip Morgan. So let me move him up onto the roof. It's going to be aimed, so let's go through this. This is just going to be nasty, let's be honest. So point blank range is a +2. He hasn't taken 2 movement actions this turn. He isn't under fire. It is an aim shot, so it's +1, so it's +3 altogether. The target is pretty much in the open, so it's a +3 on the dice. Let's see what happens. He's rolled an 11, +3 is 14, so it's an under fire marker, and I think, to be quite honest, Whip's got away with one there. So I'll put the marker on, and we'll come back for the second Swill brother to take his turn. Okay, so up next we have the second Swill brother, and I've been umming and ahhing what to do with this, but I think what he's got to do is his 2 aim actions and then a shot at Whip Morgan. So, first of all, that gives him a +3. The shooter is under fire, so it's a -1 per marker, so that's now evens. And the target is behind substantial cover, -1. So it's a -1 to the dice. Let's see what happens. And it's a 9, -1 is 8, and that's therefore a miss. So let's, we'll come right back for Whip Morgan's turn next, and we'll see out turn 5. Okay, so up next we have Whip Morgan to finish out the turn, and well, it's a cinematic game, so why not have a cinematic finish to the turn? So Whip Morgan is going to first of all recover, so he gets rid of his under fire marker. He's then going to shoot at the Swill brother. This might be cheesy, but he's going to do it, and then on top of that, he's then going to enter hand to hand to see what happens. So first of all, on the shooting, he is at point blank range, so it's a +2 to the shooting. He is not under fire, it's not an aim shot, so we move to the target, who essentially is in the open, so it's a +2 on the dice, and it's 13 +2 is 15, and he's got an under fire marker and needs a nerve test. So it's going to be a -1 to the dice. He needs 4 up, -1, so 5 up. He's got a 3, so he's actually failed the nerve test, so he gets another under fire marker. So I'm going to, in fact, we'll just remember that. So we're now going to go into the hand-to-hand. And this is where it gets exciting. So let's go through the modifiers. First of all, it's a D10 per side. The yellow is going to represent Whip, and the white, the Swill brother. We now need to calculate the modifiers. So for each under fire marker the other character has, you get a +1. So Whip's already on +2. We'll just record that on the dice. He has the higher ground, so he's up to +3. He initiated the hand-to-hand, so he gets another +1, so he's now on +4. And that is it. So +4 to Whip's dice. Let's see how this ends. Well, it's 7 to 8, and Whip's got the +4, so he significantly wins. So I'm going to go away and work out what this means, but I'm pretty sure one of them, and I don't think it's Whip, is going off the side of the building. So I'll calculate this all, and we'll come back in just a second. Okay, so, and I said this was cinematic, and it is absolutely crazy. So the Swill brother got a under fire token for every one extra above his own score. So he rolled a 7, Whip rolled an 8, but had +4, so that was 5 different. So basically, he's got 5 additional under fire tokens. He could only get 4 before being out of action. So he's not only fallen off, but he's out of action, which makes sense. And it now comes down to the force having less, or the gang having less than 50% of its figures. So they need to take a big nerve test. However, if the character that is left has basically double or more under fire markers than there are characters left on his side of the game, as in, so basically there's only one character left. He's got 3, which is double or more, so he automatically fails it. So Whip Morgan has somehow managed to pull off a win. It does mean that every opportunity that Swill Brother had to recover and take those under fire tokens off, actually I probably made the wrong decision. Should have taken them then, rather than try to shoot Whip out of it. So yeah, the Lawmen have managed to pull off a very tight win once again in scenario 2, or scene 2. So that was a close win, or a very tight win in the first opening scene. We've had a second very tight win for the Lawmen in scene 2. So really just means that we've got one more scene to do. We'll see how we get on in that scene. But that was an absolutely brilliant game, just backwards and forwards between who was looking likely to win. Really, really enjoyable from my point of view. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I hope you're looking forward to scene 3, the final scene of this mini campaign, and I'm looking forward to playing it. So as always, thank you for your views and the support. If you're enjoying this game, do tune in next Sunday, when we'll be playing scene 3 and closing this mini campaign off. Be really interested to hear your feedback on it, and whether you're enjoying this sort of format, doing a campaign like this, and this game. And if you're enjoying my other series that I'm doing at the moment, which is how to play NARM 68, then do check out my next video on Wednesday, when I'll be taking a look at the advanced actions. And keep tuning in on Wednesdays, because I've got quite a lot of videos still in that series to come. So until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.